Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. As I said earlier today, once there was more information about the EFV, I'd make a video on it. So here is a quick video going over the data mine and also just kind of showing you how funny this vehicle looks. When it gets added to the game, we'll obviously have a full look at it and kind of show you all the stats and everything. But so far, we have what's on the dev server and not yet what's on the live server. As always, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe and like this video. Let's get into it. So first of all, this is the Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle P1. It's the prototype that was designed for the United States Marines. It never got anywhere. Basically, it just became too expensive, and also some other issues came up with it, and it now just kind of lives as a early 2000s vehicle that didn't really do anything. The vehicle is really cool though, based on some stats. So first of all of you will know this gun. This is the 30mm Bushmaster 2. It has 600 rounds to it, and also it has a 200 rounds per minute fire rate, which isn't too bad. It's got a pretty long reload of 15 seconds, and generally that's a bit rough, but overall it's not too bad. The gun itself also has negative 10 degrees of gun depression, which is okay, but you can see how tall the vehicle is. It's an incredibly tall piece of machinery, so that 10 degrees is going to be a little bit rough. Not all degrees are equal when it comes to real life and when it comes to War Thunder, and this only having 10 might be a little bit rough for it. It also has 45 degrees of elevation, which is completely fine with the vehicle. You can also see with the X-ray itself that there is plenty of room inside of it to be able to move the gun up and down. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that. Now, this is where it kind of gets interesting for the vehicle. So it's 9.3. 9.3 is very high for this type of vehicle. They'll give it the APF SDS that the 30mm Bushmaster 2 gets, but one of the things that is pretty rough on it is its turret traverse. The turret traverse of this thing right now is 25.5 degrees per second, which for this type of vehicle is incredibly low. And it means that even if you whip about the place, you are going to struggle in terms of being able to get the gun on the target in time while moving about. Now, this vehicle is powered by a 752 horsepower engine, which moves this thing around the place. You can see there's like a big box in the middle that hasn't really been put in properly, but then also you have the transmission at the front, which will get it moving. So this vehicle was designed to be as quick as an Abrams, so it will have a lot of speed in it, and it was also designed, since it was an amphibious vehicle, to be incredibly fast on land and also in the sea. So this will be able to go over 40 kilometers an hour in water, which is going to be its main advantage compared to its competitors, because even when you get amphibious vehicles from other nations, they usually have a bit of an issue in terms of moving around. So this thing being able to go 72 kilometers an hour flat out, and then also a few other things pretty quick, I think that's pretty nice. Now, the armor on this thing, once again, I mean, it's an IFV. It's not really designed to have a ton of armor on it. It's more designed for mobility and getting the troops where they are supposed to be. It has a bunch of composite screens on it, which really shouldn't be too surprising. You have this weird amount of random stuff that is here, and the composite screen itself is around about 64 millimeters. So if you're fighting stuff with APDS, you might be able to ricochet stuff, you might be able to defend from the front, but pretty much everything is going to go through. The other thing is it has a 3-man crew. So you have one guy here on the right, which is the driver, and then in the turret you have 2 guys, probably a commander and also a gunner. So its survivability is incredibly low. It's set up very similarly to a Rattle, where all of the crew are in this first little area, and there's going to be a massive amount of space in the back with a massive engine in the middle. So if you can see the front of it, you'll just annihilate this. So at 9.3, it just feels kind of high, to be honest. It feels very similar to something like a Badger, for example, and even the Badger for me is way too high at 9.02. So this vehicle, It's looking a bit rough at the moment. We'll obviously have to see if there's some kind of intricacies with its transmission or intricacies with its other areas, but at least at the moment it doesn't seem like it. You can see that it gets a bunch of smoke grenades, which is nice, and I'm sure it will have great optics since, as I said, it's an early 2000 vehicle, but who knows? I just feel like this vehicle isn't going to be good enough in order to justify 9.3. Have a look at 9.3 and have a look at how crazy a lot of the vehicles are around there. Like recently, the Baguette Panzer was at 9.3, and that is better than this thing in pretty much every single way. And have a look at the targeting speed of stuff like the Baguette Panzer, and have a look at what this thing is too. A little bit worrying, and we'll have to see how it goes on. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.